Here.
Bob Seaver here. We have a quorum. We have a hearing from Meridian Aggregates Company LP. Sir, if you would, please commence.
Yeah, maybe you want to come over here. Yeah, maybe sit right there. No. Okay. So maybe you can't hear us. Johnny, are you
Can
there?
everybody? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, today's July 23rd, 1 p.m. Woods County Equalization Board, we're going to call it to order. Chris Olson.
Here.
Bob Seaver here. We have a roll call. First item is Meridian Aggregates Company LP. Sir, please commence.
Yes. Sorry, did you want to present my case? Is that what you said? You're kind of distant to hear on there.
Yes, yes. Is that better?
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Johnny Cook. I'm a property tax manager with Martin Marietta / Meridian Aggregates LLC. We have a property in Woods County that we are asking for 50% obsolescence adjustment in utility due to the facility being closed as of mid-2023 due to the economic outlook in the area. We currently have no plans to reopen the location. This is a typical additional obsolescence we're given across the country for locations that have become idled. We are not a seasonal business, so this isn't just something where we shut down for a short period of time. This is a situation where equipment is going to be idled and it's going to eventually become obsolete. So that is why we were requesting the 50% additional obsolescence to the market value of $311,887. So that would take the value to, one second please, to $155,944.
Now, this is Chris Olson. Were you in operation at the first of the year?
No, sir. We shut down around July or August of 2023.
Okay. Did you have any product on the yard at that time?
Very minimal. Very minimal.
Okay. What's your facilities out there? You've still got a scale house and an office. Any machinery or anything like that?
Give me 1 second. Let me see what we had out there as the assessment date. So we had a couple loaders and a grader out there. 3 loaders and a grader. And then a storage container and a couple light towers. That's all we had out there.
Okay. But you still got your scales and the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's still out there. Those most likely won't be removed. The loaders and stuff will probably be removed, transferred to other facilities. But yeah, the scale house and the office building will stay.
Anything else that you have of value out there? Your product, did you dispose of it, all of it, in the remaining part of that year or in this year?
I know it was that there was a little bit on the ground as of 1/1 of this year, but I think we're just either trying to get rid of what we can, or it's just going to sit there and go to waste.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
looking at your material right now that we've got here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's here. Thank you.
Johnny, Ms. Cook, I'd like to note that board member Joe Shirley is here now in attendance.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
What was the value of that?
This is.
Well, I don't know if this has, it should have something to do with it, I think. Byron used to run that for them, and he says all they got down there now is nothing. I mean, some equipment, no stockpile of anything. There's a set of scales and a couple of payloaders and I don't know what else.
But apparently the equipment has been removed since January 1.
I have not, I don't know.
I think that's what he said.
What
I
it
think
is.
so.
Yeah.
Johnny, is the
He's still
equipment
there.
still there?
Okay.
It was, I know the scale's still there and the how about the loaders and the graders as of this moment.
But as of January 1? Yes, they were.
Yes, as of January 1, they were there, and that's when we reported them on the business personal property return.
Okay. To begin with, thanks for the information that you've given us here. Sorry to see you leave. That's an asset we hate to lose.
Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Present herself. You guys ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay, everything that we have on here, on the assessment, is what they turned into us. And they also turned in some inventory, which was like 112,510 as inventory. And then the rest is everything that they turned into us. And I went out there in May when I got their appeal and took pictures of everything that's still sitting there to make sure that we didn't have anything on here, that we weren't assessing anything that wasn't there anymore, just because I wanted to make sure. And everything that's there is what's on here. So, in my opinion, we don't take 50% off for anybody else in the county just because they aren't using their equipment. You know, whether it be heavy machinery for a company or a farmer or anybody else. My belief is we shouldn't take 50% off just because they aren't using it. I mean, it's still sitting here. It's just like anybody else that has machinery or any other equipment, or even a business. You still have it, whether you're using it or not. You may have chairs and tables and filing cabinets in your back room that you're not using, but we still assess it at whatever the value is. We don't lower it just because you're not using it,
So
so.
what you assessed then was the machinery at 90,000, the forklifts and construction, the original cost you're saying was 52,007. Those numbers came from them.
Yes, originally, yes, and then they depreciate, so like
Yeah,
on this page shows.
the depreciation on it.
Well, do you have that page? You may not have that page.
The only way we can lower that assessed value is if they haul it off before January 1 next year.
Yeah,
What if, whatever's on there January 1 is what we have to do. We're required by law for that. I'm not sure we're even allowed to take off. I don't think we
I
can
mean,
do that.
things depreciate each year,
Yeah.
so it's already come down, but
okay. But they have removed everything but the scales and
it's all there.
the machinery's still there?
Unless it's left since
Well, it doesn't matter. It was
May
there January
15th,
1.
it's all still there.
Okay, okay.
Well, it was there January 1.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're assessing then you're saying you're assessing the equipment and,
And the equipment, and they turned in, they had a little bit of inventory, like
yeah,
product, and we put that on too. We put on what they turned in,
okay.
or we just double check from last year, took off anything that needed to come off, and added anything that they added, so.
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear on January 1, what's there is taxable. And, you know, next January 1, if
If it's still
the
there.
only thing out there is the scale house and they've
And-
abandoned that, that's
Mhm.
that year. But there's no objection on the price of the equipment or anything like that. Is that correct?
They're just wanting us to take 50% off.
Because it's non-use,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I don't think we do that.
We haven't for anybody else, and nobody else in the state does, and so.
Johnny, do you have anything else to add to that? You've heard our conversations in the last few moments.
Right, I mean, just because you don't give it to anybody else doesn't necessarily mean that is correct. There is forms of obsolescence, and one of them is, items becoming obsolete, which is the same thing as being idle. They're eventually going to become, outdated and not used, and being not used can cause greater wear and tear than being in use. So that is what we're requesting, and just because other taxpayers may not have brought this to your attention doesn't mean we can't get it, because we have brought this to the attention of y'all that we are requesting this extra obsolescence on these assets out there.
I'm going to say that, this is Bob Seeger, I'm not comfortable setting a precedent here. And that's what we would be doing.
Are you going to sell the equipment or move it to another location?
I'm not sure at the moment. I mean, sometimes, as old as these machines are, I mean, they're loaders and the graders, I mean, they're pretty old. They may just sit there and that may just become like a graveyard. They may be worth more in scrap than they are to sell. So we may just leave them there for the future. Especially since we have no plans to reopen this site.
Well, I see that, this is Joe Shirley, I see that your models of your equipment, and in my way in the world, you're jumping in, that stuff's all worth a bunch of money, so, we can't, I don't think we can do this. Well, I'm gonna let somebody else make the motion. It's your guys' turn. I've done all the others.
Well, the only choice we've got here is to evaluate the equipment as it was on January 1. And it's been depreciated down to that point. My suggestion would be to sell it and recover your expenses there if you can. I'm sure that's possible. And then you won't have it on the tax roll for 2025.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely an option, but I think equipment as of 1/1 is obsolete and sitting idle.
Yeah, but it's just because it's not being used, not because it doesn't have value.
And in this county, everything has a value, even when it's an old piece of something sitting out in the yard, whether it's a yard decoration or a pasture decoration, unless it is totally inoperable and cannot be fixed, we assess it.
Right, I'm not asking you not to assess it. I'm asking for just an additional depreciation because the items are sitting there essentially to rot.
I don't think we can do that.
Okay.
I move we accept the county assessor's value.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, thank you.
I'll
I
send you the
appreciate it.
paperwork. Okay.
That was cut and dried, I mean.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, it was kind of, I would have made him an offer if he had said it's zero. I could use a grader and a loader like that, probably. But, yeah.
There's a lot of 20-year-old equipment out there, is there not?
Yeah.
Okay, so, sign, Chairman.
I move we adjourn the.
No.
It's not done.
No, we're not done.
We're not? Oh, I'm sorry. Got another one?
Yeah, we got a,
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
no, it's not on the agenda. But I don't want to adjourn
Okay.
because I think the Equalization Board needs to meet one more time with an agenda that allows us to ask for a subpoena of the material that was presented the other day. And you were not here when we were discussing this before we opened the meeting, but she has no idea of the income stream. There is no evidence on record of the income stream of Target. None. And I think we need to subpoena the records of Target because there's going to be a question. They're wanting 70 million. We're asking for 130 million. We don't have any documentation as to that income part of their argument. And I think we need to be able to have that on an agenda and then generate a subpoena that requires them to supply us.
Yeah, we don't have to take that test word for it, we
No,
Okay.
we need documentation.
I would think.
So just find a date, but give them a 48-hour notice that we're going to do that, and then it won't take long.
Well, I think you need motion, don't you?
Yes, we do. Well, it's not on the
No, it's
agenda.
not
We
on the
can't
agenda.
put it on, but we don't need to do away with the
The session.
session
Okay,
here
so-
until we have another meeting.
So what we need to do is just make a motion to reconvene as the.
Yeah.
Where's your report, Ron? Where's your report, Ron? My report, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Do
I
you
make
want
a
to
motion
finish
that
this?
we,
Yeah, we need to get an explanation on what's the reason for Johnny's, or not, for retaining the assessors.
The equipment's still on location on January 1.
Building? No, the building's not there.
Oh, okay.
But they had some inventory, and they turned it in. We don't have anything on there that they didn't turn in. So if you turned it into us, I would assume that you know what you have, or you should. But that's the reason I drove out there in May, is to make sure it was all still there, they hadn't gotten rid of it or anything.
So equipment and inventory are still on the property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
As
all.
of January 1, which is, you're saying, this is what they submitted to us for 24.
Okay, thank you.
I move we continue the Equalization Board for another meeting before the end of the year.
Second.
Do what?
Second.
Oh, second, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll get with you to make sure we put on the agenda what we need.
Okay. Okay, so then are we going to reconvene this excise board?
Yes?
Yeah, we adjourn this one today.
One call. Call the meeting to order of the Excise Board, July 23rd, 1:30. Chris Olson,
Here.
Joe Shirley,
Here.
Bob Stevens, we have a quorum. Discussion and possible action regarding the assessor's report to the Excise Board.
This has been a nightmare. The whole way around. So I finally got it.
I'm so glad.
They changed to a new system. And they didn't send us papers, so we had to get it all off the computer. And then the computer, they kept updating and updating and updating. So, okay. I know it doesn't look good. So this year, when we got our public service in, and the public service, the assessed values were $66,014,566. So we were up $2,437,359 in public service this year over last year. And then the total county assessed everything, including the TIF, is $233,326,200. We were down $19,455,671. And then we've got the total county excluding the TIF, and it is $231,189,129, and that's down $19,640,436. And we have the 3 TIFs now, and the TIF assessed value was $2,137,071. That's all 3 of them together. And it shows you that on this printout, if you guys want to look at it, like by school district or whatever. We still have, like the protests that we had the other day, they still had their 30 days from Friday when we did it, and then this guy will have his 30 days from today, the one we just did, if they want to take it to court. So those are still open, so I listed that we have the 2 oil and gas companies on here because I haven't heard anything from them. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd rather put them on here and think that that money needs to be set aside than not and have to come up with it later. And then there is one public service protest, and that is a DCP Southern Hills Pipeline.
Where is that at?
Well, I have it listed right here,
Yeah.
but that's one that's done through the city, through the tax commission, because it's public service and I don't get anything on them. But I want to show you just because I was comparing, trying to look and see. I know we're down, and I know it's a lot, but when you, oh, hang on, I'll let you check this one. When you look at, well, I started this when I took over in 15. We are still higher than any year except for 22 and 23. So even though it's showing that we're down, we're still have more than we've had since 2015, except for 22 and 23. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the one year we were up 37 million, and another year we were up 27 million. So, you know, it doesn't equal out. But we're still, we aren't back to where we were when we started.
Is the wind towers on here? Are they on the public service?
Yeah. And I was trying to figure out, I know that we have lost some businesses, and I know a lot, oil and gas values were down this year overall, just pretty much.
No drilling rigs, no.
Right, there was no
workovers.
rigs, we have no rigs in the county, and the values on a lot of it were down. We've lost a few businesses, and like we've had some farmers that have quit farming, and they've gotten rid of their stuff, and there's some other people that maybe don't necessarily own it anymore, and then when they need it, they may lease it, so all of that adds up. It makes quite a bit of difference. But the oil rigs, you're right, that makes a lot of difference, because we didn't have any at all. So that's part of the reason we're down so much. One of those, I was trying to remember what all I had seen.
It's good to step back and look where you came from.
I like to do that. I want to make sure that we're not way down to where we were when, you know, and we started here, I put 2015 because that's when I actually took over, but that's when the big oil boom was going on. So those are the numbers I have.
We're down 8%, 8.5%. That's not bad.
I mean, when you see 19 million, it looks like a lot, but we have lost a lot, and like I said, values were down.
It's
So,
just 8%.
I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, I just want you guys to know what I've seen and what I've come across, so.
It's good to look at the dollars and differences and percentage stuff.
I guess we motion.
Oh, I move we approve.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Paper to sign.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
So, there you go.
Not getting onto you, but I'm saying,
I know.
you are crippled, and we're worse. We're crippled. We didn't have the information till the day we walk in here and go through this stuff, and that really challenged me.
And I think the only reason we probably had it then was because they were trying to hurry up and get something done, so they wouldn't have to go on and do it.
Well, this last thing was the dumbest thing I've ever had in front of it. Who adjourned, right? You turn that thing off?
I mean, I just adjourned.
Say again? We already adjourned.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Been a while.
did we adjourn the second
No,
one?
we didn't adjourn this one yet.
Oh, we
I've been
didn't.
waiting.
Okay, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.